Panthers-Lions. Let's start here with my Carolina Panthers. Let me see if the line change. We've got it at the spread at 4 with the over-under at 52. I see a 4.5 in one spot. The over-under's gone down to about 50 in some spots. So this one's dropping a little bit. So you're going to have to keep an eye on that. And there's an interesting thing here. The over-under's dropped from 52 to either 50 or 49.5. Panthers have been over in 6 of their last 8. Lions have been over in 7 of their last 10. Lion defense not playing well, as we saw last week. Panthers defense has been a little shaky. I think over might be a decent play here. The Lions, they were terrible. Every week, they're one of those teams that I say, I don't know who they are. I don't know what to make of them. And I said for the Lions from the beginning, I think their average may be slightly below. Well, maybe more than slightly. They're just not good, and they're struggling. And now Marvin Jones might not play, and they already traded Tate. So Kenny Galladay's going to be all by his lonesome in the passing game. I know Kerryon Johnson's been running well. On the other hand, Panthers 1-3 on the road, not playing well. They're the only road game they won was that miracle comeback against the Eagles in the fourth quarter. They got torched last Thursday night by the Steelers. Maybe you throw that out. You know, think it's an anomaly. You have this as your bet your life savings game, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with the Lions. I think I'm like you. I kind of wondered about whether or not what they were, because every week it seems like they're a different team. But I think we've seen the last 3 weeks that we know what they are now. They're not good. Right. And they played some solid teams. I mean, they played the Vikings, they played the Seahawks, they played the Bears, and those are all pretty solid teams they've lost. Carolina's in that same kind of pantheon of being the solid or better. And at this point, the Lions haven't shown any kind of ability to beat those solid or better teams, at least not for a while. I really, we talked about this a lot in the last couple of weeks. The Golden Tate trade seems to have changed everything for the team. And I don't know if it's a mentality thing, like we've traded away one of our captains, one of our leaders, and now we're kind of folding. And maybe that's a little too simplified, but I think there is something to, like, you trade away a guy like that and the season just kind of goes in the crapper, and Detroit hasn't been able to pull it out yet. And I really think at the end of the year, we're going to look at that trade and say that wasn't good for this season anyway.
But then they traded for Damon Harrison. So it was kind of like it wasn't a give up trade, but Tate's a good player. So it wasn't necessarily we're going to be better now trade. It was weird, right? I think it was after they made the Harrison trade that they did.
It was the week after. That was why it was so weird, because they were trading to get better.
Right.
And traded to get worse, it seemed like. And Matt Patricia just hasn't instilled any kind of confidence the way it's a small thing, but when he talks about, when he kind of scolds the media for not asking a question.
Sit up straight, Josh.
In a respect, I'm not sitting up straight. And then that's like when you worry about stuff like that as a first-year coach, you're like, well, you should be worried about something else. You should be worried about beating the Vikings or the Bears or the Panthers, and you're worried about somebody kind of slouching. It's just kind of stupid, and this is just distracting. And I think that's kind of what a lot of the season's been like that so far.
He's deflecting. I tell my kids, I think my kids do that. Something you deflect, you're in trouble for one thing, and you sort of, raise another issue over there. That's what he did, I thought. So did you see the pictures of their practice yesterday or the day before?
No, I didn't see them.
So there's pictures of them practicing in the snow, right? Their next 4 games are indoors. There are 3 at home and 1 at Arizona, and he's got them practicing out in the snow. Why? Why would you do that?
When I working in Cincinnati for a while, and seeing they're the most northern team that doesn't have a practice facility. So every November, December, they'd be practicing in the freeze and cold and the snow, and you're like, well, that sucks. And then occasionally they would bust to the University of Cincinnati, who actually does have an indoor practice facility, but you'd say, well, that kind of stinks. But then again, they don't have a practice facility, no matter whether you think that's being cheap or whatever. When you have a practice facility and you're not using it, that sounds pretty silly to me.
Yeah. All right. So you're done with the Lions.
I think so. I mean, look at their schedule too. The Panthers got the Bears again. They got beat by the Bears last week. They got the Rams. So the next 3 games are tough. They could be at 3-9, and then they're really done.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not doubting the Panthers just off the Steelers game, but I look and I go, oh, the Giants, they barely snuck out of that one, and the Eagles, they barely snuck out of that one. So they're kind of on the fence where, a little break they could have gone a little better, and a little break they could have gone a little worse. But I think they take care of business in this one. I think they bounce back. I think they're strong. Maybe the 4th best team in the NFC. I think with a solid effort. And I think covering I don't love this one, but I like it. You love it, like you said. It's your bet, your life savings game. So
Yeah, and I got burned last week with the Falcons and Browns. I really thought the Falcons really surprised me at how badly they played. That was my bet your life savings. So hopefully you didn't actually do that, and you still have some life savings left, so you can bet this week on the Panthers because I think they're going to roll.
Yeah, I've got the Panthers too. Right now on NFLPickwhat's.com, 72% of the experts like the Panthers given the points, and 78% of the fans like the Panthers given the points. So we're in unanimous agreement. Not unanimous, but close to it. And you always do make the disclaimer, don't bet your life savings, really.
Don't really do it. I'm just
Right.
it's a fun game, but you have that mentality like I'm going to bet it all here. and to be fair, my record for bet your life savings game is pretty good.
It is.
I'm like 7-2 straight up, and like it's really good. So that's at least in this specific instance, I know what I'm talking about, sort of.
All right.